through an exploration of the good life, I think you have to consider the impact of your actions on others. And if you come to the conclusion that those impacts are negative, then you'd have to see that negativity as coming back on you in a way that hinders your ability to have a good life. I don't think you can come to the conclusion that a good life is this way.
Right. Yeah. And so that's an interesting thing, because like that, if you've got an absolutist understanding of the good life, that there's a certain good life, like even if that's true, there's a recent article I read by Susan Wolf. It's maybe 20 or 30 years old, about pluralism and ethics.
Yeah.
And part of what she's trying to talk about is sort of when people encounter pluralist notions of ethics, which is that our vision of ethics, whether we're viewing it as kind of a rule-based ethics or flourishing or a good life, that ultimately it has to be framed within a number of different perspectives in conversation with each other, right?
Yes.
And part of the article is she's trying to make an exploration of this, an analysis of this position, one that distinguishes it from relativism, right? Pluralism is not relativism. It's not every vision of the good life goes, right? We can say, hey, there's certain things that are not the good life. And what she does is she goes through a number of areas in life that we do this all the time outside of ethics and we're comfortable with. But for some reason with ethics, we want to be absolutists. And then, she says, she goes through this interesting discussion. She says, I think as a philosopher, I think there's probably a truth about what is a good life.
A truth that is universal.
But the paradox is, if we operate even knowing that, with that as our framework, it turns us into tyrants who...
Because we force everybody to fit into the mold of that universal truth.
So even in... it's sort of an interesting exploration.
We have to come upon that universal truth on our own, through our own journey.
Right, so you can have...
So that we can believe it.
Yeah, but you have to have... And I think part of it is the minute you begin to slip into absolutism, you begin to lose your intellectual humility.